I am on the board of an organization in New York. It's a nonprofit called Art Connects New York. And we work with local curators and artists to do permanent art installations in social service agencies all around New York City. It's an amazing organization. We have partnered with hundreds of artists and dozens of organizations, but it's also super niche. And so we are working really hard to broaden the base of people who are interested in Art Connects, and ultimately will help donate to the cause. But with such a niche cause, and then we have 1.5 full-time employees who work for the organization, they do everything from coordinating the installations to fundraising. We are super strapped, and so we're looking for some ways that we can quickly gain momentum to broaden interest in the organization, knowing that we have very, very limited resources. Thanks, Gary.
My sense is, if you have a venture and it's got some complexity, you have to have some people or one person anyway that is really full time on this. Now,
she said 1.5, right?
Whether that person is paid or not paid is irrelevant.
Yes.
But if everybody's a part timer, I don't see how you get it done, because it's somebody's always going to be looking at their watch in terms of I got to go and what. And you're not. It's going to be hard to raise money that way. The other side of it's just as bad, where you take the money you raise and you pay 2 people that are average to be there all the time, and now you've got your energy level for the others goes down.
I don't know all the details, but I was always from afar, when I became aware of what you were doing here, was so impressed that you guys were able to do so much when you were so busy being CEO of one of the biggest. And obviously I don't know who was full-time underneath or what happened.
One of the first things we did is I went out to recruit a director, an executive director. Okay. And I got a very attractive guy who had been in not-for-profit world for a long time with cancer or leukemia, and he had a good personality, and I knew that we could get him. We tried to meld these groups together. You need somebody that's going to be full-time on that issue, not part-time. And he was very helpful. We were able to pull together 3 different parent-driven organizations with very few full-time people, but we had to, every time we got to the scale, I had to have somebody full-time in there.
Sure. And Kim, listen.
It was a drag on the cost. It was just necessary.
Kim, listen. We're not confused, and you know I'm never tone deaf. We're not confused that the air cover and the brand equity and the place where Bob was in his career is different than this organization, and that's always quite important. I think the thing to really think about, though, is get that word quickly out of the equation. Unless you have a miracle situation where some art installation or art moment becomes so culturally relevant that everybody becomes aware and wants to donate, AKA the Ice Bucket Challenge. People want to be cynical about that. The data is very real. Incredible, very real. They had a moment, but that's a virality that comes around once in a generation, and so we need to be much more practical in that those 1.5 people, and they're incredible. I would like to think, look, I think anybody who devotes their careers and all their time to a nonprofit are so passionate about that they can be patient over a 5 to 7 to 12 year window.